what's going on, guys? So we got Q&A question number, no idea. So the question is how to build up endurance to pitch deeper into games, right? So I think a lot of the times the misconception, and now that I think as we're progressing in, more data-driven approaches in this game of baseball, it used to be like, oh, just run more, just run polls, do this and that. And I think now it's kind of heading to the direction of like just be in overall better throwing shape. And how do you get into throwing shape, right? You throw. And it's tough because we talk about that fine line of, now like throwing too much and throwing a lot is kind of like demonized, right? Because of all these surgeries and stuff that's happening and the dynamic between should you throw in the off season or should you put the ball down completely and all of these other, possibilities that provoke, question. I'm always going to be a believer in your body adapts super efficiently and your body adapts to the stress and the environment that you put it in and that you give it. So, with that being said, if you're a guy that's struggling with like the endurance and going, not going deep into games or at least like getting tired when you do go deep into games, look at how much you throw per week, right? So this is something that I struggled with in the beginning of my career when I was young and I was like listening to everyone and how everyone in professional ball at the time was always, I'm not saying this like disrespect anyone, but it was about, hey, save your bullets, save your bullets for the game. And I'm coming from, more is more type where I was throwing a lot, dude. I was throwing, and I was in good shape and my velocity was good. And then I got into pro ball 18, 19 years old and I just hit a wall and I didn't realize like what was actually happening. And, it was that simple fact of, I wasn't throwing enough, I think I believe in, if you have authentic throwing mechanics, like you're able to handle that load. So I would encourage you to look at, how much you throw per week before a start. Like, what do your bullpens look like? Are you doing, 10 to 15 pitch bullpens and you throwing for 5 minutes and then you get out into a game and you expecting to go, 9 innings, 7 innings? And think about it this way, man, on game day, on start day or whatever it is, like you're throwing so much. You're throwing the warm-ups, your bullpen before the game, your catch before the game, your warm-ups before an inning, then the actual game. Like that's so many throws, and if you expect the body to respond extremely well and the arm to respond extremely well when you've thrown the same amount of throws as you do on game day the entire week before, then that's where the disconnect is, right? So biggest piece of encouragement is look at how you plan and how you strategize your throwing volume for the whole entire week. So hopefully that makes sense, but in simple terms, the way you build up endurance to pitch deeper into games is by throwing more.